All right, so we are back with another video, and I am driving, as you can see. But I do want to talk about just one little thing, and that thing is how in this season I have been just reclaiming myself and parts of myself that I feel like I have completely left in the past. I left behind, I buried, whatever, but it wasn't because I was maturing. It wasn't because God or the Holy Spirit or any of that. It's simply because I was shrinking because of outside noise. And so, outside noise, unfortunately, and unbeknownst to me, became my inside voice, my inner voice. And for the longest time, and I didn't even realize it, like I said, I really didn't even realize it until this year. And it's just like, it's so much. It's so much hurt that has happened. But besides the outside voice, but also just becoming a mom and becoming a mom of a special needs child for the very first time into my motherhood journey. So it's two major things, like that and then that. And all of this happened, I was so young. I was so young, and I didn't realize things until now, like I said. And so I've just been in, like I said, in a season of reclaiming myself, in a season of letting go of those things. And so sometimes like as I make my videos and I hear myself talk, I feel like I'm always sounding defensive, or I sound like sometimes I could get defensive because people will say things that trigger me. But the thing is that all of this stuff has been learned. It's not who I am. And I can't wait to get on the other side, okay? I can't wait to be on the other side where I'm not worried about what other people say anymore, because that's who I am. When I was younger, I wasn't caring about nobody. But see, that was it was some bads to that. But I'm just saying that to say, like, yeah, I've been reclaiming myself, and it kind of hurts and it sucks to hear that some people would think that, oh, she's changing, or oh, she's not XYZ, whatever it is. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking for other people at this point. But then also to hear someone say you changing, but it's like I'm not changing. I'm finally being free. I'm finally allowing myself to, be myself and not shrink, not be small, not be in this little box that I thought that I had to be in, or that I like trained myself. Because at first it was so I wasn't aware of everything, but I just started kind of pre doing stuff without even knowing it. At first it was like, oh, you're being too loud, you're doing too much, da da da. But then future me started going like, oh, let me make sure that I'm not being too loud. Let me make sure I'm being quiet and not being fun, not being expressive, not doing too much. Let me make sure that that I'm acceptable. Let me make sure that my behavior is acceptable. But I didn't never think that I was doing this. It was just happening. It just kept happening for years and years and years, and now it's been a whole entire decade. Why are we honking at each other? Ooh, ooh, we in the we in Memphis. We in Memphis. But anyways, I was just saying that to say, like, it's been a season of reclaiming myself, but then I'm also on the other end where I do still have this brain, or this part of my brain that still cares about other people's opinions. And I can't wait, like I said, I can't wait to get on the other side of that, because I don't want to care about people's opinions. No, 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 no. Other people ain't got nothing to do with my life, per se. And like I said before, I wish that I knew back then that if you don't like how I am and who I am, you ain't gotta be a part of my life. But, you know, as you get older, you grow, you learn more stuff. You know, like it just, unfortunately, this is a part of life. You just not gonna know everything from the very beginning. Unfortunately, when you are 18, that's what I was saying. What I wish I knew. I forgot to say that one in that video. But what I wish I knew at 18 is you don't know everything. At 18, you is a baby. You a baby in the world at 18. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You a baby. Like, age ain't nothing but a number in that sense. Let me be clear. In that sense, age is really not nothing but a number. You are not fully aware of things, of yourself. You're just not fully aware. You're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to learn everything, because a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but when you're 18, you turn 18 and then you like go off on your own per se. And then that's when you start to learn. But even then, like, it's psychology is proven that your frontal lobe does not develop until you're 25 years old, 25, 26, and gosh, it's just the truth. Like, you can't do nothing about that. So you don't know everything, girl. Unfortunately, as smart as you are, and you smart, you witty, you this, you that, but you don't know everything. You just don't have the adult brain yet. Your number does You being 18 does not mean that your brain is fully developed to be an adult, to make decisions, to do things, to realize that, you know, X or Z is happening in this area of your life or by these people. You don't realize that, you just don't realize a whole bunch of stuff, okay? And I just it's like, I just wish that you could realize it, but it's just some things you just can't realize, that you just won't know until you about 28, 29, 30, looking back at it like, oh dang, oh, this was wrong. She just didn't know, and she didn't have awareness. She didn't have a lot of stuff that she wish she did have, that I wish I did have, right? I ugh, I was crazy. But anyways, yeah, I was just coming to say that, like, being in the season of reclaiming myself has brought a lot of emotions, a lot of grief, a lot of anger, because it's like, dang, why did I have to go through XYZ? Why couldn't I just be accepted, you know, for who I was? Because to me, I wasn't bad. I was never like a bad person or whatever. Why couldn't I just have been loved? But it's okay. I'm not like sad. Well, yes, I am. I ain't gonna lie. But it, like I said, it has brought it has brought a lot of grief and sadness and stuff. But I'm gonna get through it. I'm still going through it, but I'm gonna get through it, y'all. And if you could resonate, if this resonates with you, just let me know. Have you gone through something similar? I don't know, where you just lost yourself unknowingly, that you changed, that you put yourself in this box, that you shrunk, that you became a smaller version of who you were because of other people, but you didn't even know, or even because you became a mom and you just didn't realize that, oh, I don't have to be a certain way just because I'm a mom. Like, no, girl, you still you. I mean, of course you're gonna grow, but you don't have to change all the way. Like, you don't have to become a whole new person just because you're a mom, or just because other people can't accept you for who you are. That's basically what I'm learning, have been learning. And I'm proud of myself for growing. I'm proud of myself for doing the deep digging, the inner work, the painful work, the work that got you crying all the time, hurting all the time. I'm proud of myself for this. But anyways, I'm gonna close out the video here, and I'll see you in the next one.